The Mashona is a very good mother. They're easy to handle, which is a consideration. They're a good size. I think a lot of people look at the bigger breeds and say, yes, I have to have that. But what they don't realise is that to get an animal pregnant, you have to have food. So if you go for a bigger framed animal, you're going to need more food to make that animal pregnant. If you're living in the high veld, this is the Mumbi for you. It's been born and bred over generations, and it is tough, hardy, very fertile. When you cross them with another breed, then you get a very fast growing animal. Perhaps in Zimbabwe, people don't appreciate their value, and they've been introduced around the world. There were embryos taken out in the early 90s, which went to America, and from there they've gone to South America, Australia, and people love them.
The Nkoni cattle are an indigenous Sangha breed of Zimbabwe, and they're one of the 3 indigenous breeds we have in Zimbabwe. They are very, very special cattle in that they have adapted over more than 8,000 years in Africa, starting way up in the north of Africa, the Ethiopian region, and they came down with the original Bantu migrations, which took many, many thousands of years to get down Africa, right down to the southern parts. They are so well adapted, and they do so well in degraded situations. Now, with global warming, if you want to call it that, there's less and less really prime cattle country left. What is left quite often is really degraded country, because they've been adapted over 7,000 years under harsh conditions, are able to handle harsh conditions and be productive. So there we've got an animal. It's not a big animal, it's a medium-sized animal, so it doesn't need to eat too much, and it can, from very poor grazing, it can eat enough and produce a calf every year. And to be viable or to be productive, you've got to have that calf every year. So I see our Nkoni as a very, very important part of the future of the livestock industry in Zimbabwe. And we need to promote it, government needs to promote it, and I'm glad to see they are now. And we need to get these cattle out as the mother herd in our more degraded areas, areas which are lower rainfall and have less grazing and poorer grazing. These are the cattle that are going to be productive for the people in that area.